second meeting of the Oakridge Town Council to order. A special holiday welcome to everyone here in council chambers and everyone who's watching via our YouTube live channel. We're glad you're here with us tonight. I'd now like to invite Priest Bhattar, a priest at the Triad Hindu Temple, forward to give our invocation. Please rise as you're able.
Hello everyone. I am Priest Damodar Bhattar coming from Triad Hindu Temple. I'll be doing the invocation. I'll be reciting 3 Vedic hymns followed by the meanings so that you can understand what I'll be reciting. So I'll be starting now. Om Dhyau Shantirantarikshakum Shantir Prithvi Shantir Apaha Shantir Oshadaya Shantir Vanaspadaya Shantir Gau Shantir Raja Shantir Ashva Shantir Purusha Shantir Brahma Shantir Shantir Eva Shantir Me Astu Shantihi Om Shanti 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 Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The first Vedic hymn means chanting this auspicious Vedic hymns, we pray to Lord that there will be peace everywhere. Sky, earth, water, herb, tree, animal, everything and everyone will be in complete harmony. The second Vedic hymn means, may all be happy, may none feel ill, may all see auspicious everywhere, may none ever feel sorrow. Om, peace, peace, peace. The third Vedic hymn means, let us from the unreal to real, let us from darkness to light, let us from death to immortal. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, priest. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us, Priest Bhattar.
Thank you.
We'll now proceed to agenda item number 2. A state of emergency is still in effect in North Carolina. The town of Oakridge currently encourages masks inside Town Hall. The public has been invited to join us in person and via our YouTube live stream, and instructions for joining have been widely publicized. Our meeting agenda is available on the back table, and it and all public materials for this meeting are also available on our website as they are for every meeting. In this way, Oakridge is meeting all statutory requirements. Council members and staff, please speak clearly and directly into your mics. And if anyone can't hear what's being said, please raise your hand so that we can fix the problem before moving forward. Moving to item number 3, approval of our agenda. Is there a motion?
I make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries and the agenda is approved. We'll move to the approval of minutes from our November 4th regular meeting. Council, you've had the opportunity to review a draft of the minutes. Is there a motion?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 4th, 2021 regular meeting.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on this topic? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries and the November 4th meeting minutes are approved. Item number 5, resolutions, proclamations, and announcements. I'm not aware of any, so we will proceed to item number 6, a report from the Guilford County Sheriff's Office, and I'll invite Deputy Secor to come forward to give the monthly report. Thank you for being here tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm Deputy Secor. I've been here about 3 years now, and this is my assigned zone of work. The month of November, we had 53 calls for service in Oakridge, and by and large, the majority were alarm calls. It's very quiet out here. There's not a whole lot going on. Besides that, I would like to say it's the holiday season, so make sure you lock your cars up. Be aware of porch pirates because they are out there. If you get a package, try to get it inside your house sooner than later, and utilize exterior lights. It keeps people away. And if you're out shopping, don't leave your stuff out. Like, don't leave pocketbooks in front seats. And if you purchase stuff, don't leave them out in plain view.
Good advice. Council, any questions for Deputy Secor? If not, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 7, a report from our Oakridge Fire Department, and we'll welcome Chief Gibson up to present that report. Thanks for being here today, Chief.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Well, we had a kind of a slow month last month. It was a total of 69 calls, and around 41 of those, well, I'll take that back, 37 are EMS calls. So, training hours for the month was 728, and that's the total for the day staff and the volunteers. We had 4 of our employees complete a driver operator class. That is a North Carolina certification, and it took them about 4 months to do. They performed that at GTCC, and we currently have 2 enrolled at this time for the same class. So, as all of you know, there is a burn ban, and this one is going a little further. So basically, they're saying anything that will produce embers. So no burn barrels, no campfires, no fire pits, anything that may produce embers is not allowed at this time. The other thing, we are currently looking at a training facility on our property behind Station 15, right here. There's been some concerns about air pollution because there is 2 burn rooms in there. I will assure you that there will be no hazardous materials burnt in that facility. It is illegal. The only thing you can actually burn is wheat straw and, say, untreated pallets. We are planning to eventually plant trees around this facility so it will kind of hide it from the park, the newest addition to the park. So, and I would encourage anyone that has any questions, want to go into further detail about it, my office is always open during the weekday, so feel free to come, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. Is anyone got any questions?
Great job.
The only
Great
thing I
job.
would say is thank you for bringing Santa by the summit the other night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we're supposed to bring him to the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the old fire truck, so.
With Mrs. Claus, Santa
Yeah,
and Mrs.
Santa
Claus.
and Mrs.
Yeah, and Mrs. Claus.
Thank you, Chief, for bringing up the issue of the training facility, because I think it's exciting that your department is going to have that kind of on-site training. But I also think it's good that you're opening this up to questions from the community, because it will be a new structure on that piece of land, and since it's a burn training facility, I know people always have questions about that, so thank you.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the oath of office for re-elected members of council, and I'd like to welcome the Honorable Stuart Albright, North Carolina Superior Court Justice, forward to administer the oath of office to me and Mayor Pro Tem Jim Kinnaman following our recent re-election to council. Town Clerk Sandra Smith will assist. You just tell us where to go and what to do.
Bible. If not, you can just hold it in your left hand. All right. And if you'll please answer my questions, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you, Ann Catherine Snyder, solemnly and sincerely swear that you will support the Constitution and laws of the United States? Do you?
I do.
And do you solemnly and sincerely swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof?
I do.
And do you solemnly and sincerely swear that you will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution and laws of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of your knowledge and ability?
I do.
And do you, Ann Catherine Snyder, solemnly and sincerely swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as town council member, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations on your reelection. And we can step over to Sandra's desk to make it official.
I have to think what the date was.
You got it right.
Thank you.
And if we can get the Bible right back. Oh, you have, perfect. You have the big Bible.
It's in the family.
I know, it's beautiful. Do you, Jim Kinnaman, solemnly and sincerely swear that you will support the Constitution and laws of the United States? And do you solemnly and sincerely swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof? And do you solemnly and sincerely swear that you will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution and the laws of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of your knowledge and ability? And do you, Jim Kinnaman, solemnly and sincerely swear that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as town council member, so help you God? Congratulations on your reelection. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Albright, for being here. We're going to have a quick photo moment here.
Oh. Ready?
Thank you, Sean. And now I'll turn the next two items, the election of mayor and mayor pro tem, over to our town clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. With each election, Oakridge traditionally handles re-elects the mayor and the mayor pro tem, although the mayor and the mayor pro tem are allowed to serve at the pleasure of the council. At this time, I will accept nominations for the office of mayor. A nomination does not need a second.
Madam Clerk, I'm honored to nominate for our next mayor, Ann Matthews Snyder.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor of Ann Schneider for mayor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations, Mayor Snyder.
Thank you.
And I'll now accept nominations for the office of Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to nominate Jim Kinnaman as our Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second it.
Even though that's not required.
Absolutely.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, all in favor of Jim Kinnaman for Mayor Pro Tem, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I know that we're both honored to continue. So the new council looks really a lot like the old council. We'll now move on to the town manager's report and just continue our meeting tonight. Mr. Bruce.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Several items for you this evening. The first is a consideration to reappoint Nancy Stoudemire to the Planning and Zoning Board and to the Board of Adjustment. Also to appoint Mike Kimmel as full member to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board and Chelsea Young as an alternate to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Council, in accordance with our policy regarding standing boards and committees, and based on a prior consensus vote of council, consideration of these appointments has been placed on tonight's agenda for our consideration. I'll invite you to offer individual motions on these matters or a single motion on all three matters.
Madam Mayor.
I was going to say, excuse me, Ms. Young has not been on committee so far, but she is here at the meeting. If you
Oh, can you stand? Hey, how are you doing?
Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for pointing that out.
I'd like to move that we approve the reappointment of Nancy Stoudemire to Planning and Zoning as well as the Board of Adjustment. We approve the appointment of Mike Kimmel as a full member of Parks and Rec Advisory Board and appoint Chelsea Young as an alternate to Parks and Rec Advisory Committee.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go forward with a vote. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries and the appointments are approved. Congratulations to all.
Yes. Second item this evening is consideration of the 2022 Oakridge Youth Association usage agreement for town park facilities. This agreement is in your packets. The agreement is substantially the same as last year's agreement with the exception of a date change and 4 highlighted statements that serve primarily to clarify processes that are already in place. The agreement also notably adds girls field hockey to the list of approved sports. The agreement was reviewed and approved by the Parks and Rec Advisory Board at their November 18th meeting, so it comes with a recommendation to approve, and it's also been reviewed by staff and Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce, and we'll just wait until the Mayor Pro Tem comes back. Just needed a little bit of water.
Sorry about that.
So, Council, you've had a chance to review the draft usage agreement, and I'd like to invite a motion on this matter.
I make a motion we approve the annual agreement with the Youth Association for 2022.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilman McClellan.
Just one quick question. I know there was some, they're going to be responsible for the bathrooms and the night games still. Is that my understanding?
The usage agreement clarifies that a field marshal
Right, that's what I was.
from the Youth Association is present during their activities to monitor activity and also to lock restrooms at the end of the evening.
So do they kind of just choose that person?
That's right. They choose the person and then notify Parks and Rec staff of who will be responsible.
And so there's a little bit of more wasn't there some issues last year under the last contract about that?
We continue to work on implementing that, but both sides are working positively to make sure that that's in place.
Both sides are committed to that.
That's right.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Kinnaman.
Yeah, just a little extra clarification on the field marshal. In the old agreement, we specifically said it had to be a board member. So we've removed that criteria, so they have a lot more flexibility about who can be the field marshal. And I think that made it a lot easier for them to get people to be it. So I attend their board meetings, and they're trying really hard to get it sorted out. They are a large organization. It's a volunteer organization. So, you know, but I think they want to do it. They want to do it right, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
Thank you. Councilman Nodine.
Yeah, I guess they're the group that they've agreed this agreement and no problems with them.
That's right. There is a member of ORYA that sits on the Parks and Rec Advisory Board that's been present. This was developed in consultation with ORYA, and following council's vote, it'll be presented to their board.
Councilwoman Pittman.
Yeah, I was going to kind of wrap several of those comments into one, and that essentially it is the same agreement, but we continue to do fine-tuning, and we do it through a cooperative effort of Parks and Rec Advisory Board, our Parks and Rec Director, the Youth Athletics Subcommittee, and ORYA board members who actually work with us on the fine-tuning. And so this is in big part thanks to all those people who continue to work, because I'm happy to see the relationship continue in such a positive way now for the benefit of our area youth and our young people and the opportunities they get.
Thank you. And I'd like to give special thanks to Mayor Pro Tem Kinnaman, who sits, as he mentioned, on their board, and to Councilwoman Pittman, who continues to be involved, and to ORYA for being a part of our Parks and Rec Advisory Board and for working on this partnership with us, because it doesn't work without both groups. And just to clarify, the usage agreement provides $30,000 of in-kind stipend support for field use and other activities. And this came out of a subcommittee that we developed 2 years ago to kind of clarify and strengthen our support for youth athletics in Oakridge. And through the area. This is what's come out of it. And the result is a stronger partnership that supports a really broad range of incredible programs offered by ORYA. I'm just grateful for this collaboration and for the opportunity to continue to support these programs that ORYA offers. If there's no further discussion, we'll proceed to a vote.
Just one more point. In conjunction with that, well, in relationship to that stipend that we give them, this year they used, what, 29,000 of it? So they basically had $1,000 left over. So the $30,000 number is working. They did not exhaust that 30,000, so they're getting a good amount of use, so there's no need for adjusting that. So I think that's working out quite nicely. We weren't sure exactly how that was going to work because it was the first full year. I realized that with the COVID and stuff like that, we may not have gotten a perfect year yet, but I think the $30,000 number is definitely in the ballpark, to use a metaphor, of course, but that is working, so it's good.
Good point. Thank you. So now, if there are no further comments, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of approving the usage agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries and the 2022 usage agreement with ORYA is approved. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you. The third item is a housekeeping matter to approve the 2022 Town Council and Committee meeting schedule, as well as the holiday schedule.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Council, is there a motion on this matter?
I make a motion we approve the town meeting schedule and the holiday schedule all at once, and the holiday schedule.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go.
The only thing,
Yeah.
I just want to make, we're good on the 4th of July week. The 7th, you guys think is fine? That we don't have any reason to push it out a week?
We felt that pushing it out a week would have led to a greater amount of time between the June meeting and the July and really compress that next month. So we made the recommendation to stick with the first Thursday.
All right, just one, that's usually a problematic week, that's all.
That's
Good.
always the one that's tough.
Yeah, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries, and the meeting schedule and holiday schedule for 2022 are approved.
I would like to take a few minutes here to also update council on several of the big projects that are pending in the next couple of months. The NCDOT scheduled improvements at 150 and 68, and also a progress report on Heritage Farm Park. The engineering plans for the roadwork project at 60 and 68 and 150 are substantially complete, and NCDOT is or shortly will be contacting property owners along the corridor for any rights-of-way or easements that are required. Currently, the project team is incorporating Town of Oakridge requests into those designs, and those include things like decorative stamped concrete sidewalks in the historic district portion of the project, ample room for landscaping, including street trees, and also in the roundabouts, as well as some other requests related to conduit for electric and future street lighting to make sure that we're prepared should a time come when that's a priority for council. When those plans are completed and cost estimates are provided, they'll be presented to council for your review and approval. The sidewalks are an 80-20 cost share, so 80% covered by NCDOT and 20% by council. Some of the extra items are 100% contributions from the town. But as you know, we have allocated in our CIP $400,000 for this project. When we get those construction estimates back, council will have a chance to review and make a decision. Secondly, at the Heritage Farm Park project, we hope to advertise that project for bid in the next several weeks, pending successful results from several locations we've identified for well locations. With that information in hand, our engineers are ready to complete those plans and release the bids relatively quickly. With Mr. Thomas and Mr. Anders' assistance, we'll be preparing our application for state local government commission approval to finance the project, and Sam will continue to work with Truist to update and lock in our rate quote by the middle of January. We anticipate local government commission approval on March 1st, which means we'd be looking at a springtime construction start at Heritage Farm Park. And I'm happy to answer any questions on either of those projects.
Councilman McClellan, do you have questions or comments?
Not really. Now hold on, just 1 second. 400,000 for the street project. Now, we did that in a budget a couple years ago, right? So that's already a budgeted item.
It's actually in the CIP and not a budgeted item.
I thought we did that in a budget.
We did budget it several years ago when the project timeline was accelerated.
Okay. So we have to do it again.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, we have to put it in an actual annual budget, I think is the point.
Well, yeah.
It's in a capital planning budget right now.
Well, it wasn't we did actually approve it in a budget.
Oh, I see your point.
Back then.
That's right.
Thank you.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem.
The big message I want to make sure that we repeat many times is it's a 2-year timeline for the street project. And they're not going to be able to, because they can't shut the road down. It's going to take 2 years to do that work. So basically, I just want to make sure everyone gets prepared for that so that they get, they understand that and they're not shocked by the fact that for 2 years it's going to be a pain in the neck,
I did mean to actually give you an estimate on the timeline,
Yeah.
so thank you for reminding me. The project schedule is still September of 2022 for a contract let date. So if the project continues on schedule, we'd be looking at construction starting probably fall of 2022, and as you mentioned, would go for 2 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilman Nodine?
What's the bid date?
For the DOT project?
Yeah.
September of 2022.
Councilwoman Pittman.
The only thing I have to ask is you mentioned the Oakridge request, and you mentioned, the sidewalks and some of the planting and that type of landscaping. Have we asked for anything in particular in terms of the pedestrian crossings in the main intersection up here at 150 and 68?
We have. That's actually a component of the project that was already incorporated into the project even prior to discussing that with the town of Oakridge. The project team has been in contact with us about that design, and it will incorporate crosswalks at all 4 of the intersections.
Will that be a DOT responsibility, or if we want something in addition to what they are offering would be our responsibility?
It would be Oakridge's responsibility, that's correct.
If it were in addition to what they planned as a basic?
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you. I know we've all received questions on this topic, so I'm glad we're providing updates. And I think we talked about doing this regularly as we move toward the fall of 22 start date. This project is a big deal for Oakridge, both in terms of what it will accomplish in terms of improving traffic flow and improving how these intersections look. There's a great aesthetic component as well. But it's also a big deal in terms of what it will put us all through, so I think it's probably good for us to be prepared. Do you have any further business?
That's all tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll now move to the first of 2 periods for public comment. Speakers must provide their name and address and are asked to keep their comments under 3 minutes in length. Is there anyone who wishes to speak tonight? Come on forward.
Good evening. My name is Kristen Law. I am here this evening, 7809 Front 9. I am here this evening as a representative of Northwest High School and the Northwest High School PTSO. We are working on a big project. We want to get out to the community, and GCS, Guilford County Schools, defines equity as aligning resources to create equitable opportunities for students and employees, thus eradicating the achievement gap. Next year marks a huge year for Northwest. We will start our 60th year. And the PTSO has put together the inaugural alumni group. You'll be able to find that on our website. You'll hear more information about that. But the PTSO and Ashley Young felt led to do something big, something that changes the landscape. The PTSO and Ashley Young have worked tirelessly over the last few months to create and implement the mobile makeover. You're going to hear lots about the mobile makeover over the next year. Our mobile units are not in line with the GCS standards and our high student demand. A solution that was supposed to be temporary 20 years ago is permanent. We have 24 mobiles located on the property, and they are not going to be moved, and they are permanent. Northwest High School is forecasted to be at about 146% capacity in the next 10 years. MGT Consulting Group is the group that came in and evaluated all the schools. Northwest High School was ranked 61% considered poor in suitability. Suitability is figured by learning environment, size, location, and storage and fixed equipment. Improving our suitability is critical to making our school more equitable. The mobile makeover is simple. Adopt a mobile. Through the community, we intend to make a full makeover of all 24 mobiles by next year. In the coming months, we're going to be reaching out to anyone in this community who conducts business, who has families. Our first initiative is to reach out to local builders, developers, realtors, subcontractors, and material providers. Oakridge currently holds the highest percentages of persons under 18 at 29.3%. Guilford County as a whole, 22. There is no higher need than in this community. The new apartments being built on 68 is expected to bring 400 students into Oakridge. Home sales are going crazy, astronomically. By improving our schools, we will help to continue to attract more people and businesses to this area. We are working with the Northwest Observer, and we are going to create a parade of mobile magazines to get the word out about this campaign. Obviously, this idea grew from the Parade of Homes magazine that you get twice a year. Mobile Makeover is an excellent opportunity for all businesses and families to rally and support Northwest High School and the communities the school serves. How can you get involved? If you can't adopt a mobile, but you would like to help, we want you. May 7th, we're hosting a consignment sale. We're doing a 60-40 split with the participants. We will come to you. We will tag your items with you. We will settle at the end. You can watch for more updates and information in the Northwest Observer. Adoptees in return will get a permanent plaque on the mobile unit, print recognition in our Parade of Mobiles magazine, and copies for the adoptees. In addition, we will include you in social media posts, newsletters, and website advertisements. You can all go onto Facebook and look up NWHS-PTSO and follow us and follow the progress. A 10-foot feathered flag will be along Northwest School Road 2022-2023 school year. You will also become a permanent plaque. You will also be given a 6-inch permanent plaque on our new donor wall, which is actually at the entrance of the school on that brick wall as you enter. Mm-hmm. I hope I've given you thousands of reasons to join us. We look forward to impacting the students and the faculty. Our motto is innovate, implement, culture. Come up with innovative ideas, implement a plan, and create a culture for the students and the faculty. We will have an informational meeting on January 22nd at 10 a.m. at the high school. And in the back, I have placed note cards, sort of what we're looking for and the date and time. Or you can also pick it up in this format. And for anybody interested in sponsorship programs, there are sponsorship pamphlets in the back. And please we're easy to find. Reach out to us, and we would love anyone's help.
Thank you so much.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Christian, you were saying that the trailers are permanent?
A permanent would be forever. Permanent meaning right now there is no solution to change that. Nothing in the near future, nothing in the next 10 years. There's not a plan to move those mobiles off the property.
I mean, the reason I'm asking is, there's consideration with the County Board of Commissioners tonight. They're having a public hearing on the school bonds. Do any of those bonds or any of those proposed bonds impact Northwest High?
So we were actually supposed to be in phase 2. Funding, we were bumped out due to funding. We are supposed to have 1,583 students. We currently have about 2,167. We can't house them. There are plans in the bond to move lines, to move some lines and students, but we do not see that in the foreseeable future.
So,
well, let's continue this conversation offline, probably, because there's a lot to plumb on this. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who would like to comment tonight? Seeing no one, we will move on to our monthly financial report, and I'll invite our finance officer to give that report.
Good evening, Council. Hope everyone's doing well. Everyone should have received a copy of the finance officer's report and the activity update and a copy of the financials yesterday by email. Also, it should be I think they've got them in the binders today. Always a little tight when the first day of the month, or the last day of the month, is 48 hours before the meeting. But we got everything done. On the financial report, overall, a very good month. We're maintaining a strong cash position as we have in anticipation of funding the various capital projects. We're sitting in a cash position of $4.5 million, liabilities of $63,000, and then detail on the fund balance, we've got just a hair under $1.7 million dedicated for capital projects, restricted. For the month, we had total revenues of $63,000, total expenditures of $204,000, so we reduced fund balance by $141,080. I am expecting, with us entering the month of December, the late property tax payments will come rolling in. The due date is January the 5th, so traditionally we will have a better property tax collection this month, and usually a pretty strong one at the 1st of January. Everybody that's not paid early will have to pay by the 5th. And given our collection ratio of like 99.8%, on our property and 100% basically on the vehicles, we will collect our budgeted tax numbers. I feel very certain of that. Overall, again, like I said, a very strong month. We're maintaining our balances. Schedule 1's got the balances for the different banks that we use. We're holding Bank of Oakridge a little under $4.2 million. The bulk of that is in the ICS money market and ARP funding account. Those are secured investments that we got a better rate of return on. Behind that, you've got your detail with all the expenses and all the income for the month, budget versus actual, our assets, and our supplementary with the schedule for the loan payments on the Whitaker property. Main items for the month, we've received notice, property taxes of $18,878.51, motor vehicle taxes of $8,199.59, for a total of $27,078.10 will be deposited should be in the clearing on the bank tomorrow. That was all our collections through November the 30th. We had our the monthly sales and property taxes. Planning and zoning had fee collection this month. We received solid waste disposal taxes, interest, donations to the Veterans Memorial, and some other park revenues. As always, we're monitoring the investments at the various banks. It is still a tough market, and right now, where we're at with Bank of Oakridge is the best rates that we can get. The other item for the month, we supported the staff with contracts throughout the month. We monitored the bid process, and we're keeping in communication with Truist as we move forward with the Heritage Farm project. It's kind of the whole project with us moving forward with approval from the LGC, as Bill mentioned. We've got various benchmarks, and it's almost the old adage of the chicken and the egg. Some things we've got to have before we get the other, and then we got to have the other before we get some other things. So it's kind of a back and forth. And I apologize, you're going to hear some noise here in another second. If you'll pardon me 1 second. Funny you should talk about the intersection. We just got dispatched to a wreck at the intersection right now. So it's, and I will be the first one. I will get a little off base here, and I will make a statement. I've served 41 years as of September. We are notorious in this county, in this state, for one thing, and that is Highway 68. We have wrecks that they have never seen, and people have never dealt with some of the crap that we've had on that road. So any safety improvements are greatly appreciated by everybody in the fire service, EMS, and the Sheriff's Department and Highway Patrol. It is truly, it's bad that we're known for the severity of what happens on that 4 to 5 mile stretch. But we are known statewide. So I'll get back on I'll change hats back to the finance officer's hat. Overall, everything's really good. We're working on our project numbers, and Bill, Michael, our whole team is working together on hitting all these benchmarks, and we're each doing our specialty. So we hopefully will have a good product for y'all when we get to the end of this process.
Thank you.
That's it.
Council, is there a motion to accept the finance report as presented?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I make a motion to present to approve the financial reports as presented by our Chief Financial Officer.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go forward with a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries and the report is approved. Thank you for having 2 hats to wear and for your 41 years of service at the fire department.
Thank you.
We'll now proceed to invite brief reports of up to 3 minutes from each of our boards and committees and from community organization. Ms. Smith will read any reports that have been submitted in writing and will keep time for us. We'll start with the Water Advisory Board, but they had no meeting this month, and the chair is not here. Next, we'll go to the Historic Preservation Commission, and I'll invite Ms. Schoenfeld forward.
Thank you. Debbie Schoenfeld, 8501 San Siro Farm Court. We also did not have a meeting last month, and but we continue to work on our historic Oakridge tabletop book by completing the photographs and working on the story profiles for each structure. That's it for me. Any questions?
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
And Planning and Zoning, do we have a report?
We do, Mayor. This was submitted by Nancy Stoudemeyer, Chair. The Planning and Zoning Board met on November 18th and conditionally approved a site plan number SP 2103 for 2909 Oakridge Road, which is for Happy Tail puppies. The conditions were that the handicap parking should be moved closer to the main entrance and that the planning director and the Planning and Zoning Board need to approve the fencing materials and the style.
Thank you. And Mountains to Sea Trail Committee?
I received a report from the chair just prior to the meeting, so I'll read that.
Great.
No MST committee meeting in November. However, he reports, this is a report from Bill Royal, co-chair of the MST committee, that they are moving forward with their signage plan and are in the process of setting 6x6 posts at each trailhead entrance and trail fork along the Headwaters Trail and in the Cascades. Signage content and designs will be finalized next. The December meeting has been moved to Tuesday, December 14th at 6 p.m. to avoid potential conflicts with holiday travel.
Thank you.
And a quick thing on that also, I just want to mention, the parking lot's coming along quite well. So that should be done in another week or two, I think, by the end of the year at least.
Oh, certainly, yeah. A week, I would think.
And the side path's done.
Excellent news. Conservation Easement Committee did not meet. Special Events Committee, Ms. Dumachowski.
Patty Dumachowski, 7320 Hiddenview Drive. As stated at our last meeting, we currently have over $49,000 in the Veterans Restricted Fund towards our goal of $150,000. The totals for October and November are an additional $13,235 in contributions. Just a reminder that at the end of December, we will again review the donations and coordinate with Sandra and Sam to have the additional quarterly funds moved over to the restricted fund and matched as they can be in January. The committee will continue to work on defining the pavers and tree fundraising items. Revington Reeves continues with advancing the design and working with the structural engineer. They are working on the topography within the woodlands. They anticipate having updated drawings for the committee review on December 10th. Our Light Up the Night event is all set for this Saturday. We have food and craft vendors, seasonal music, hay rides with the Grinch, Ritz the Wiz magician, and of course Santa coming in on the fire trucks. Thanks to Chris Burrett and Patty Stokes for the great article today in the Northwest Observer. And I'd like to give a big shout out to all the volunteers that helped set up the luminaries, especially the Northwest Guilford Women's Club, the Oakridge Garden Club, the Lions Club, the Special Events Committee, and Parks and Rec. We'll be collecting for the Oakridge Methodist Church Backpack Ministry and also the Scouts wreaths over Guilford County. Our Vice Chair, Carolyn Rutsch, did a wonderful job of coordinating all of these activities. And if anyone was driving by on Linville this week, they saw everybody out there, and the lights are all set up. We're still looking for volunteers to help out on Saturday, and if you're interested, you can just show up and we'll assign you an activity to help out with. Hopefully, you'll all be able to join us for a wonderful night of seasonal fun, starting at 2 and ending at 8 p.m. Any questions?
The 49,000, does that include the match, or is that just the amount of money?
That was with the match. That was September. That was the match. There was 22 on our side, I think, and then there was more on your side, but yeah.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. Thank you.
Yeah, we did that at last month's meeting. And I just want you to say the approximate number of luminaries.
Almost 1,000 luminaries are there. So
beautiful luminaries that will stay up through the new year, right?
Absolutely, yep.
But Saturday's going to be very special.
Very special. So we hope everybody's going to join us. It's terrific.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Next is Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Mr. Browning, thank you for being here.
Good evening, Council. My name is John Browning, co-chair of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. We held our meeting November 18th, both in person and on the Zoom platform. Just a couple of items to highlight. We did have a request, and we approved subsequently, a request by Piedmont Forest School. Just to refresh your memory, they operated part of 2021 outdoor hands-on, get dirty and muddy for the kids. So we're quite happy to have approved them for the calendar year 2022. They proved to be good partners with us at the town park. So they were happy to again to have our approval in 2022. In 21, they had 90 kids, which far exceeded their expectations, so they were quite happy with the attendance and how their classes ran. It's primarily for homeschool children, although we're hopeful that they can get a better working relationship with the elementary school children and maybe offer summer camps, something they weren't able to do this past year, but hopefully they can do that. I just wanted to read briefly a mother of one of the parents wrote into the school about how their experience. Carissa Haithcock, a parent of a kid that attended classes in part writes, my son attended Piedmont Forest School this fall. We are thrilled with that this is offered at a convenient and beautiful location in Oakridge. As a homeschool family, we are thankful that this program exists here in Northwest Guilford County. Since attending Piedmont Forest School, my son asked to go to Oakridge Town Park multiple times per week. My family has explored parts of the park we didn't even know existed. Thanks to our son for showing us around. We're incredibly happy to be part of Piedmont Forest School. So again, we're quite happy to still be partnered up with them, and we're quite happy to have them back. And as y'all mentioned, we did vote to approve the Oakridge Youth Association usage agreement for 2022. Again, I think our communications are good. Any issue we have, they've been addressed pretty promptly. So again, our recommendation was for y'all to approve that, and I appreciate you doing that. And lastly, I appreciate y'all appointing, we're up to full staff now. Adrian Eckenrod last month, and then for Mike Kimmel and Chelsea Young, we're looking forward to working with them. In fact, I think Chelsea is here tonight, so we're looking forward to having those folks with us. So anyway, I sure appreciate any comments or questions.
Sure. Just for the record, state your address. I think we skipped over that accidentally.
It's 8024 Linville Road.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Thank
Great
you
job.
so
You're
much.
welcome.
And lastly, Finance Committee, but they did not meet this month, so no report. We'll then move on to community organizations, and we'll start with the Oakridge Elementary School. Do we have a report from them?
We
Ms.
do
Smith?
not have one this month.
Oh, she usually submits one. So hopefully that means all is well. Oakridge Youth Association.
Yes, I have one for them.
Oh, you have it. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
This is from the board. The Oakridge Youth Association had a very successful fall season, including record numbers in baseball and softball. We had over 150 volunteers come together across all sports to offer the families in this community the best programs possible. This winter, we are excited once again to be part of the Military Academy's Winter Basketball League, competing with Summerfield and Stokesdale. We would like to recognize Dr. Steve and Bobby Allison for making this happen again. The teen leadership team has had a very busy few weeks as they hosted back-to-back Terror Trail weekends at the park, then their first movie night in the amphitheater, then their annual Thanksgiving Eve flag football games, and finally their first annual Turkey Trot 5K, raising thousands of dollars and collecting hundreds of canned goods to donate to local charities. We would like to recognize and thank the members of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board and Town Council for working with us to renew the usage agreement with Oakridge Town Park for 2022. Sincerely, the ORYA Board.
Thank you. It's great to have them submitting a report. That's
Yeah.
terrific. We'll now go to item number 16, a second period tonight for public comments. Again, we ask speakers to provide their name and address and to be brief. Is there anyone who would like to speak tonight? Patty, I saw your hand first. Sorry.
Patty Domchaski, 7320 Hiddenview Drive. As mentioned earlier, we had a great group of volunteers setting up the luminaries this week. One of the items we discussed when we were talking as we were putting in stakes all along there was the possibility of maybe having additional lights along Linville Road and additional outlets so that we really are not stringing extension cords throughout the park. I would just like the town council to consider additional electrical power for the old park in your discussions coming up next year for your budget items or your capital project items. Thank you for your consideration.
So now it's being called the old park?
The first park.
Okay.
I like that.
The first park.
And Carol, come on down.
Yes.
My name is Carol Kinnaman. I live at 8502 Hollow River Court. And I just want to say, I work in Greensboro in an outpatient medical facility. We draw from areas that are north, south, east, and west of Greensboro and all over. So in the process of conversation with parents and, you know, who bring in kids or just parents or whatever, where they ask where I live and we say Oakridge, I get an over-resounding response of, we love to come to all the tournaments at the Oakridge Town Park. That is the best place. And I can't tell you how many mothers have said, and oh my God, the bathrooms are clean. We just never have a problem. And I recently ran into a person from Randleman, which is quite a ways even from Greensboro, who her son, she's in a homeschool league, and I don't know what the ruling is or who's involved in it, but her son was involved playing with ORYA in their homeschool football, that she would bring him a couple times a week from Randleman to here because of the way the program was run and how good it was, and that there was nothing in between. So I think all the staff and everybody associated with that should really be commended because it really stands out a lot for the town of Oakridge.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak tonight? Seeing no one, we will proceed to item number 17, council comments, and we'll start with Councilwoman Pittman.
Okay. There's so many different wonderful ways that our community always comes together to celebrate and help others in our holiday season. And we're all blessed by the connections that we forge when we have shared goals and shared experiences. This year, Oakridge has joined with Oakridge Military Academy to collect toys for children in need. I spent the day on November the 13th with a group of cadets from Orma collecting toys and cash at Lowe's Foods. It was a wonderful day. It was just so much fun, and I was blessed by having spent time with them. The Toys for Tots Drive is a cadet planned and led service learning project. These young men and women presented themselves and interacted with the public in a manner that reflected well on Orma and Oakridge. There's also a collection box in our lobby that was placed there by the cadets after, I believe, working with our town clerk, Sandra Smith, and with our mayor, Ann Snyder, along with First Sergeant Sally McCullough, who is an absolute gem of a person. If you haven't met her and you get the chance, please do. She's just wonderful. But residents can still drop off a new toy or cash by December 10th. Is that correct, Sandra? Correct. Okay, by December 10th during working hours. I was so grateful for the opportunity to work with these students, and I hope that there will be future opportunities for Orma and the town to work together. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with safe travels, lots of hugs, and good fellowship and food.
Thank you. Councilman Nodine.
Well, I appreciate all the work that all the people are doing. It's a remarkable group of folks. And I, too, would like to wish a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Kinnaman.
I just want to add a little bit about the story about the Piedmont Forest School. I had the privilege of being invited to watch them the other day. It is amazing. There was about 10 kids between, I guess, 5 and 10. I don't know exact age group, but they're out in the woods pretty much with nothing. They don't bring any toys with them or anything like that. So they're running around with sticks and leaves and playing in the dirt and pretending things are food and things like that. They built a little fort. It's still out there. You can go out there and see it. But like I said, they're out there for 4 hours. I asked the instructor if the kids get bored, and she said no. The kids are going pretty much nonstop for 4 hours. So it's a pretty amazing thing. And they can't say enough nice things about Terry and his staff. So they're very, very appreciative of what you guys have done for them. And so they were very excited at how much support you gave them. So they like that a lot. December 13th, the Oakridge United Methodist Church is going to have a blood drive. One of the things they're doing this time around is they're raffling off 4 $50 gift cards to anyone that signs up to donate. So basically, there's about 50 or 60 people that usually come out. So if you think about it, there's four chances in 50 or 60 to get a $50 gift card. So if you're able to donate blood, please do. It's a great gift to give. You can give life to 3 people, so it's a great thing. Between now and just January, there's an umpteen number of holidays. So I just want to wish everybody a great holiday season, whatever holiday you observe, and see you again next year. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman McClellan. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, as we enter into this season of light, I just want to wish everybody here, first of all, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. To our volunteers, you guys are doing a great job. I just can't, speak highly enough about everything that you do. You truly are the secret behind the success of this town. One thing I would like to see us do, and Christian, you kind of brought that to light tonight, but don't leave. I would like to see the Northwest PTSO added to community organization reports, so we can, maintain a good connection. Since if I understand correctly, the majority of the folks in that school are coming from our town. So if that's something that could be done, and I would encourage the mayor or whomever, get with Ms. Law, and let's start this so we can keep regular updates. Once again, thank you for everything. I look for, as we enter into this season of light, one thing, despite everything we hear on the news, is that we get the opportunity, regardless of our faith, to celebrate hope. And I think 2022 is going to be a great year. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank you also for being here to talk about the mobile makeover project. I called Melissa Stallings today because I was so excited about what I read in the paper and was hoping someone would come tonight. This is a great project that will have a real impact on our kids' daily lives from the entire Northwest area, not just Oakridge primarily by any means. All three of my kids graduated from Northwest, and the trailers were in horrific shape when my son graduated 5 years ago. And when I met with and accompanied school board members on a tour of the campus around that time, I think Kelly Parsons was there then, many promises were made about the state of school security and the state of the mobile units, and nothing has happened in those 5 years. And as in so many cases, it doesn't seem as if the county and state bureaucracies are capable of moving forward constructively on this, and not able to do anything near what a group of motivated, unpaid parent volunteers can accomplish with the help of their community. So I applaud you. We are going to be participating in the Stokesdale Parade on the 11th, so anyone who wants to be a part of the Town of Oakridge parade entry, which I think is just a truck with a lot of happy people on it, throwing candy and wearing Santa hats and such, please let me know. All residents are welcome, and I'm just so grateful for all the volunteers who came out to help with the Light Up the Night. And just making the holidays in Oakridge beautiful, from decorating our town signs to decorating the historic Redmond House and preparing for what's probably going to be the best Light Up the Night event ever. I also just want to say that I'm very grateful for the confidence that this council has placed in me to serve as mayor again, and I truly enjoy working with our town staff, our volunteers, and with this council. I will continue to dedicate my energy and efforts to doing what's best for Oakridge. We're doing great things here, and I love hearing the things that Carol Kinnaman was saying about how so many families outside this community view our park. It's absolutely true. I hear some of the same things. And finally, I just want to wish everyone a blessed and peaceful Hanukkah and Christmas. Thank you for being here tonight. We'll now move on to adjournment. Is there a motion?
Motion, we adjourn.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries, and we are adjourned.
I said aye.